still to this day. But the thing about DMX, man, like even though he didn't transcend the game of hip hop, but the thing about him was he was such an amazing influence. Well, his skills and his ability to be a poetic, he was just unique, man. I think he's like the only hip hop artist to go triple platinum, like in 3 straight albums, something like that.
Where I know when he had those 2 #1 albums in the same year, that was crazy.
Yeah. So, and I mean, bro, nobody like that voice, man, is you won't duplicate. There's certain things you're just not gonna duplicate, and that voice, man, and it's just sad.
Which was his real voice too, by the way.
Yeah. If you listen to him, that's him. Like how he talks, that's him 100%. So you're just not gonna. I mean, you're just not gonna repeat that voice, man. And it's sad that he went out the way he did. It's just sad. I hope he didn't drug overdose. They said like that's reported.
I think he did that. But see, so this is my thing too, and I always been reluctant to even say this publicly, but I told Trey, I think he did that on purpose. I think that's just how he was feeling that day. And he was just over a lot of shit. Like that fame can fuck with you. Because you got to think, as we move on and as they start putting out stuff, he's still DMX. So when people run into him in public and stuff, like that it never shuts off with people. Right. Like, you know how you would think. Like, they're always like, oh, I know. Like, just the other day, the $1 Million Man said when he was overseas, he's walking out of a store and someone's like, hey, Granny, that's the $1 Million Man. And he looked at the kid like, oh, you know me? He's like, yeah, I know you from video games and the network. And like, and so that goes like it's never, see, the way technology is now we playing highlights, even if you didn't get to watch these people play. Right. Now it's just like, oh yeah, like, man, oh, I know so it's like never, he probably couldn't something simple like he'd go to somewhere in Idaho or something. Just, I could probably walk into Walmart here in Idaho. Nobody gonna know why. But then he gonna walk there and be like, oh, and then all next thing you got a crowd of people around you. Yeah, bro, that stuff do get taxing, yo. Like I said, like when we had that little bit, even on a small, like we probably had 0.5% of what DMX had in terms of. But it does get taxing though. When everybody starts knowing who you are, or you can't even sit nowhere. Remember the last time I was home, I just took this edible. I just want to chill. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there, somebody like, wait, get in. And you can see it on my face. I'm just like, oh man, focus. I'm talking to people right now. Like, and this is, think about it. I always preface it to people. This is like on a way. Of course, I ain't nowhere near no DMX, nothing like that. But I'm saying, like, it does get like he can't go anywhere. Yeah. And then when you feel like too, well, you ain't having the same success as you had once before. Now everybody looking at, hey man, when you come out another album, hey, when you do like, so now you're putting that added pressure on yourself. Whereas we probably wasn't even looking at DMX like that. Oh man, he fell off. He ain't doing another. We was looking. He was always X to us, like yo, because we remember how he made us feel when we were younger. Like yo, we put on a DMX song, like oh, it's amp time. Like yeah, like so. But you know that added pressure. You know we always harder on ourselves than other people are. So he probably looking at like oh, I got to give him another classic DMX album, and then when that wasn't happening over years and So I think that's maybe how he was feeling that. I ain't saying that's exactly what it was, but I'm like, he's been a drug user for years. Like, you're not gonna just all of a sudden like, oh, it's you forever. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, man. Once you build an addiction, it's there forever, man. Like that is a demon that he's fighting forever, every single day. You like. I felt like he didn't feel like fighting that day, maybe. Yeah. Maybe he just woke up that day, he's just like, you know what, I'm just about to end it all. Yeah. In the best way that I know how to do it. Yeah, man. That's something like, and it's crazy, man. You hear people that go 2, 3, 4 years. They just lose it and they just go all out. Like, bro, you were clean for this many years. It's an everyday battle, man. And that's something that, I hate that, I think he said in one of his songs, like, he tried crack cocaine at 14 years old. Yeah.
Like,
Well, he actually told that story of what happened. So what happened was him and his like mentor at the time, they broke into a house or something. So, you know, they're splitting profits. And so so the mentor, yeah, I think it's a grown man, was like, hey, hit this. And he had never done weed, he never done any kind of drug at all. So he hit the blunt and it was laced with coke. And he was like crying. He was like, you know, I trusted him, I looked up to him, and I've been fighting the demons of cocaine ever since. You know, he laced it with that. So
oh
he was
man,
like,
I didn't
what
know
does he
that.
do that to a
Yeah,
kid? Yeah. Like
yeah,
he told the story on the interview. You know, it popped up after, you know, he died. But I was just like, dang, he was just crying, talking about it. Because not only, you know, did that kind of, he had that demon the rest of his life, but like it came from somebody you looked up to, somebody
you
that you thought
trust
was a
me.
mentor who was going to protect you. And
Yep.
then he the one that did it. So you just only imagine what was going on in his head, you know?
Yeah, man, it's sad, man, and it's just, you know, DMX was he was a gem, man. He was special. Like there was and that seemed like DMX one of them dudes. Like you saw him, it was like, yo, hey, drop a DMX song, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
drop the Rough Riders anthem or something. Like
Yeah.
wherever DMX was, they were like, if DMX was in the building, they dropped a track, and everybody, man, it was just crazy. Like everybody, and then the crazy thing is like it wasn't that after he's, you know, gone now. It's like when he was still alive. I remember watching a Celtics game, and they showed they're like, you know, they Rough Riders anthem, and I'm like, why they playing Rough Riders anthem? And all of a sudden, they show a picture of DMX. DMX like, you know, throw his hands up. Everybody's like, you know, throwing his stop, drop. Everybody see everybody like, and I'm like, yo, that was. Bro, that was like 3-4 years
Imagine
ago.
feeling that, because, bro, I ain't never going to forget that one clip that they always show of, like, it was like it was a million people in the crowd.
Yeah, Woodstock.
Drop. Yeah, and it's like, man, like.
He had that energy, yo.
He did. He had that energy, that vibe, that aura about him. I think the biggest thing me and Kenny kind of touched on earlier is you don't really hear people say anything bad about his character. Even with him being addicted. You got to think, a lot of times people addicted, they start never hear people say bad stuff on their character. He was just a stand-up.
There's always been love for DMX, bro. Like, you always, bro, I tell you, and like Kenny said, man, he had that energy. I remember it was funny because, you know, I work out early in the morning, and I was telling my boy Ted, you know, if I'm struggling, first thing I go is DMX Essentials playlist, and I just let it ride, bro. And all of a sudden, I'm like, and he's like, bro, you take some pre-workout? I said, nah, man, I'm on that X right now.
The X, but him and like, the only one person I say come close, not in terms of success or nothing like that, but in terms of like energy and gym workouts is Mystical. Mystical could get you in that.
Yeah, Mystical gets you turned.
Yeah, like he's
not
one of the ones.
Successful, but
and they all had those like unique voices and stuff. So that's why I say like sometimes people just have a place in history where like you can't duplicate that. Like DMX is just he's one of one. Like you ain't
Mystical got one of the hardest bars ever, boy. You ever see me in a fight with a grizzly bear? Help the bear!
Yeah.
Bro, cause he's like, cause that bitch gonna need it. Like that motherfucker was turned up in that song. I don't even know what song that was.
I don't either, but
I don't know, dog. I don't even know what song that was, but I remember on TikTok, everybody was putting it on TikTok. And it was like, you ever seen me fight with a grizzly bear? Help the bear! That bitch don't need it. Like he was always turned. That's what I said. The only person I ever seen match X energy in terms of songs and stuff like that was Mystical, man. Mystical, he was another one. He just had that energy. It was like crazy.